Hey, hey, Intuitive Soul Tribe. Mel, Intuitive Soul Coach here, excited to bring to you today's collective reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, collective, welcome. We're going to take a look at conversations with your future self today. What you need to know, what is your current situation, what to spend more time on, less time on. So I'm excited to dive in here. Now, bottom of the deck, you have flexibility showing up. This is about divine detours, change, adaptability, new ideas, and expansion. Some of you are being guided to go with the flow, and also there's travel here. There's change coming in. I'm excited to see what tarot cards we pull because I have a feeling here for those of you that are tuned into this reading that 1 year from now, your life could be completely different. Completely different. You could live in a new place. For some of you, you're going to be in an entirely new relationship. You could have a new person in your life that is very pivotal on your soul's journey. This could be a bestie, a soulmate, a romantic partnership, a boss. I am getting someone new coming in for you. It could be unexpected. You may have already met this person for some of you. I'm getting a strong M and a strong C. Okay, maybe even an S. But I'm also getting here Dallas. That could be someone's name, or it could be a location, or maybe some of you are traveling and your layover is in Dallas or Fort Worth. But I am seeing here that you'll be guided. You're not alone. This is about remaining adaptable, going with the flow, because some of you could even be going through some endings, or you're still tying up loose ends. Okay. I mean, maybe you're listening to MC Hammer, M and C. Okay. But we have some soul lessons here. Now you've gone through a lot. Whenever this card shows up, this is major inner growth, major transformation. That could be that death energy that I'm tuning into. But I'm also getting here the judgment card, judgment energy, which is about awakening, spiritual awakenings. It's about a rebirth, a rite of passage. Some of you, this is karma. You may have entered into a karmic relationship in the past that taught you a lot about yourself, collective. This is past life energy. It could be past memories, but you've learned a lot. This is about wisdom, strength, learning, and teaching. I'm also getting here that some of you are the catalyst in healing for others. So even if you are not in their lives currently, I mean, maybe they have exited your life, maybe they've crossed over, perhaps you're no longer in a relationship or a union with them. Your contract together was a major catalyst for learning, and you may have felt like it was a very difficult, very challenging, maybe even very toxic part of your life, that job, that relationship, whatever it may be for you. We'll take a look and clarify here in a moment, but I see that it's taught you a lot. Now, you have belief systems showing up here. This is a deep energy. This is like the Hierophant, right? It is self-talk, prayers, reprogramming, limiting beliefs. So you could be literally reprogramming some limiting beliefs about yourself. Some of you are unlearning what you've learned. Now, not in a way of, I'm forgetting everything that I'm learning and I'm just going to go forward. But I feel like when I say unlearning, it means that you have been taught how to do things in one way, maybe even how to love, or how to show up for yourself. It may be that you've put everybody ahead of you, or maybe you've been a perfectionist or a people pleaser. And what I mean by unlearning is there is someone, I feel strongly that you're going to see, maybe a King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. This could even be, I'm getting High Priestess or Hierophant. We may see this could be a spiritual guru type of energy that comes in, maybe a mentor, a coach, a guide, a healer, a psychic. maybe someone that really inspires you in some way, shape, or form. But I feel like you're learning how to do things in a new way that's healthier to you and your journey. That is what I mean by unlearning. Now, with the belief system card showing up here, and because I'm getting that strong Hierophant, Taurus energy, a lot of you are really being divinely guided at this time. And this is about taking a look at what you've learned, your, traditions, family traditions. It could be what you were taught growing up in your family, right? What were you taught about love? What were you taught about money? What were you taught, from society, from school, from institutions, from religion, from, marriage, the concept of some sort of dynamic you are switching up in some way, shape, or form that better aligns and better suits with you. I am getting some of you came from a very religious background, or your parents may have come from a very religious background. I'm also getting for some of you, you may have been taught that you had to stick to something or stay in something because that was the way, whether it was marriage, right? You had to stick it out, ride or die, for better, for worse, which yes, that's part of the marital vows. But also what they don't tell you in the marital vows, because it's not something that you're thinking of when you get married. You're not thinking about, the toxicity or the narcissism or the lies or what happens when someone cheats or, all of the things that can break apart or really challenge the dynamic of a relationship. And it doesn't have to be a relationship for you. This can be a job as well. It can be your health. For some of you, I'm getting it has to do with health. But what your future self wants you to know here is there's change coming. And in 1 year, I really feel good about this. Yeah, look at this bottom of the deck, because we talk about self-love. We have memories and we have soul purpose as well as healing. So this is healing. If you've gone through extensive healing, body, mind, and soul, physically, emotionally, mentally, if you've gone through a surgery this year, or for some of you, if you've been seeking a therapist or a healer of some sort, I feel like you're coming up out of something that's been a little bit challenging, a little bit difficult in the past, because you have the memories here. But you are coming to a point in your life, and this is what your future self wants you to know, and your present self, is to focus on that strength that you have. I'm getting strength energy now, compassion, rest, acceptance. This is also about self-care, healing, going within, and having more confidence, because somewhere along the line, it's like your confidence started to slip a little by little by little, maybe because of some sort of betrayal, heartache, loneliness, depression, isolation, rejection, abandonment, right? Because you've gone through some stuff, but you've been doing a lot of soul searching, right? You've been doing a lot of healing. I see that underneath here. And you've been working on letting go, because look at your final card at the bottom is release, liberating yourself, goodbyes, growth, ascension, closure, and feeling a sense of flow versus resistance. And while you were in some sort of lesson, it almost felt like boom, boom, boom. Something may have come in threes, right? You know how they say things come in threes. Maybe you lost the job, you lost the husband, you lost the home, right? Whatever it may have been. Hopefully not to that extent. But I feel like there was something that came in quick, and you've kind of hit a rock bottom. But this is past energy. So you're letting go of a lot of, I just heard the word shame. Okay, so I'm not sure why we'd have shame here, but maybe that's what you're healing. Wow, this is pretty intense. Let's get to some more of the future energy. We see where you've been in the past. You know where you've been in the past. What's coming up here is you are getting into alignment with a belief system that puts you on that paradigm shift towards your highest good. This is about you knowing your worth. This is about you attracting things that align with your respect, your self-love. This is boundaries, but it's also about compassion, healing, and kindness. So because you've been really working on yourself, collective, some of you are traveling. Some of you will be moving because I almost feel like this is the next 12 months, right? The next year. There could be a gypsy soul deep within you. And I love this card because it does talk about France and or Spain here. Yeah, Spain and France. Some of you could be traveling to that area. For others of you, maybe you're photographers. You could be vloggers as well. You may be contemplating traveling by plane, maybe even to a beach, to the ocean here. You may be waiting. There's something here with timing here with the watch card. Whether you're visiting, you're backpacking, or you're moving, I do feel like there is a major opportunity to go to someplace, maybe even a spiritual retreat or a yoga retreat. We do have yoga. It could be a place where it feels like you're resetting in some way, shape, or form. It may even be around someone's birthday, okay? We have inner child. Now, some of you, you may be celebrating a birthday. I'm getting sooner rather than later, possibly within weeks for some of you. If that's you, happy birthday, drop it below. But this is about the inner child. It's almost like there's a sense of freedom. Your inner child is able to explore and discover. This may be also about you focusing on your childhood dreams. This could be you giving to yourself what you didn't receive as a child. It could be you coming into unions and connections that feel safe and feel supported, feel healthy. And perhaps some of you, that was a struggle in childhood. But this is good. This is happiness. It's fun. It's joy. It's magic. There could even be news of a birth or a new child entering your world. I'm also getting here, if you're struggling with a child at this time, it will get better. It will get better. Some of you need to hear that, okay? Yeah, I'm getting the letting go. So endings bringing in new beginnings, but let's start clarifying here. Let's take a look at your present self. Where's your present self at? Okay, there's your future self coming up right behind your present self. So we have Five of Swords. So there is some sort of conflict, right? We'll look here and see what that struggle or conflict is. But for some of you, I mean, Five of Swords isn't a fun energy to be in. It can be victory, but at what cost, right? So someone may be really trying to win one over here, it could be poor sportsmanship, right? Someone not playing fair. This can be bullying. It can be coercion. And I feel like you could be in a state of fight or flight, right? If this is your present self, you may feel like there's someone, I don't want to say someone out to get you. I mean, take it as it resonates, but you could be having a difficult time trying to compromise at this time, or this is about knowing when to fight, knowing when to walk away. Basically, it's about choosing your battles. And your future self right behind you came up saying Wheel of Fortune. Remember what I said about a complete change within the next year? I mean, this could come in sooner rather than later, but it is a lucky twist of fate because you've already gone through the unforeseen challenge, right? Something here is showing up for you and it feels heavy. It feels conflicting mentally as well. It's part of this soul lessons card that we see that you could still be working through in your mind, even if it's not physically there. But for some of you, I mean, subconsciously, you are working on letting it go. It could be something within your belief system with the Five of Swords. Maybe you were told at one point or another that you weren't good enough. You weren't smart enough. You weren't pretty enough. You weren't man enough. Whatever it was here, I feel like you've struggled mentally to let go of it. And some of you are trying to remain flexible at this time because there are divine detours, but you may be on edge. And your future self says, there's a lot happening for you, but trust in the unknown. There's a twist of fate here. Wheel of Fortune is beautiful. Sag, Pisces, this is about a turning point. Your future self says here, you don't have to repeat a cycle. And some of you, that's what this soul lessons is all about. This can be cyclical. It can be karmic. But if you haven't learned the lesson, then we do repeat lessons, right? Sometimes 2 times, sometimes a dozen times, sometimes 100 times until we learn until we get to that point where we feel like our soul has ascended, learned, or evolved in the way that we came here to experience. And so I do see that there is a level of trust, authenticity, and truth really coming in. Let's take a look and see what this is all about. Current situation, struggle, or question that seems challenging. It seems like there is some sort of drama here. There's a conflicted energy, resentment, win at all cost, right? This can be, yeah, some sort of conflict. What's this all about here for the collective, Spirit? Tell me about the struggle, please. Whoa, okay. 3 of Wands. There has been an unexpected setback here, but the good news is I feel within the next 3 weeks even, you're going to see noticeable growth in this situation, because the 3 of Wands, even though it kind of came in, like a wrecking ball, I feel like you are going to see growth. You're going to move on from this 5 of Swords, but let's clarify a little bit more. Does this have to do with a move or a relationship? Let's take a look. Can we get a little more insight? Okay. Page of Cups. Some of you it's children, and we do have the inner child. For some of you it's love. And for others of you, this is not feeling fulfilled emotionally in your career. You just lost motivation. You lost excitement. You don't love what you do. Or in this relationship, some of you, it could have been a new relationship, very, very fresh, and someone may have ghosted right away, or you just lost, that motivation, and you want excitement. You want to feel passion. But when the Page of Cups shows up in reverse, someone was hurt. Someone may have been very immature in a situation. Someone may have been missing the signs, and that may have been part of a setback here for you. Let's get one more for the situation, please. There's the Death card. Yeah, there's an ending here because you don't want drama. I mean, who does, right? But sometimes we do. We attract drama. We attract things, and we're wondering, well, why do we keep attracting the same partner, or why do we keep getting in this cycle, over and over again? Not anymore. Your future self wants you to know that there's a situation that's coming to an end. If you've been out there applying for a million different jobs and you've really been looking to, move forward in your career, but you're starting to lose motivation because there's been rejection after rejection, that 3 of Wands, Wands can be very quick energy as well. So I feel between 3 days and 3 weeks, you're going to have an end to some sort of conflict, mental conflict. This is big, okay? The Death here is a necessary ending in order for you to move forward and not repeat a cycle. So be flexible, okay? If this is a relationship where there's just too much that can't be undone and someone's very immature, I'm also getting someone is very impulsive with the 5 of Swords. I mean, if you look at him, he has all of his armor on. Someone may not be ready to open up to love. And if this is you, I feel like you will see growth through healing, through opening up. But it could be that you've shut down because there's been some sort of an ending. For others of you, someone else has done this to you, and the best possible move at this time is to move forward here. 3 of Wands. You've made a choice, right? You've made a choice. Patience will pay off. Hard work pays off. Don't take your eye off the prize. Even if there was a situation that resulted in an ending, endings bring in new beginnings, okay? And I do see here that there is going to be a new opportunity, and it does look a lot better. If you look on the Wheel of Fortune, your future self wants to remind you that the clouds are dark, right? They're heavy, but through this portal, there's a door. There's an opportunity to jump timelines. There's an opportunity to shift your reality to something else. And that's what we see when we walk through this portal. You see that there's sunshine, there's a rainbow, there's brighter days ahead. All right, let's look at what to spend less time on. What should we spend less time on here? Yeah, okay. We're going to spend less time on all the hard misfortunes that you've gone through. 5 of Coins. So there's another 5 showing up here. Five of Coins can be money or health issues, right? It's poverty, mindset. It is, I'm broken, I'm hurt, I'm lost. It can really be that negative energy of loss, of destruction. What Spirit does want you to spend more time on is recovering your sense of stability. So it's almost as if, how do you want to focus your energy? As the glass half full or the glass half empty? Because if you're seeing everything as half empty, you're constantly going to be in need of wanting to fill it up to satiate that hunger, right? Because there's a sense of, I don't have enough. It's half empty and I have to pour more into that cup to keep it fulfilled. But when you see it from a point of, recovering the stability that the glass is half full, I'm doing great, right? I'm grateful. I'm abundant. I am blessed. I am recovering. This is recovering that sense of, whatever it is that you've lost, and Spirit wants you to focus on the gains, not the loss. That's exactly what it is here. Okay, Five of Coins. I mean, it looks like this house has just gone through a major tornado, a major disaster. And how can you focus on the good when you're going through so much bad? That's what I just heard someone ask. Well, Mel, how can I focus on the good if I have nothing to be grateful for, or if I've just lost my job or just lost my home? Right here, belief system. This is part of the key here. Self-talk, prayers, knowing that you're not alone, that better days are ahead. So many times we fall into that deep despair, that deep depression of, my life will never get better. I'm here dealing with this all by myself. I'm all alone. And that feels like the truth when you've hit some sort of a rock bottom. But there's a higher power here, even if you can't see it, even if it's hard to trust in that at times. Divine detours are part of the human experience. And I know that you're going to look back and you will feel a lot different about the situation. And I sense that you're going to recover what you've lost and some. Okay, that's what your future self wants you to remember. This could be financial loss. Okay, some of you, I see that there may have been a legal settlement. For others of you, it may have been through a divorce, or maybe you felt like you've lost your family, lost your home, or lost your sense of self in some way, shape, or form. But remember, we have the soul purpose, we have self-love, and we have healing. You will heal, you will recover. Not only what you lost, but you're going to recover bits and parts of yourself along the way, because you're not giving up on you, collective. What does Spirit want you to remember at this time? What are you meant to remember? Because we have the memories card showing up, and I was just being highlighted to that as well. Some of you are writing a book, or you're thinking about it, or you could be journaling as well. There could be photographs. What should the collective focus on remembering at this time? Okay, we'll just take them all. What do we need to remember? Eight of Coins. How far you've come. How much work that you've put into yourself. This is passing the torch on over to you, right? The Eight of Coins is about acquiring expertise, acquiring knowledge. You've learned so much. Eights are about strength and authority, materialism. They're infinity. It's the infinity symbol. And even though there's been problems, even though maybe some of you have suffered from, as mentioned earlier, perfectionism, and that may have led to you disappointing yourself or being disappointed in others because of holding such maybe a high threshold, or because of the ideal illusion or fantasy. I am getting Seven of Cups energy. I haven't looked at the cards in the back, but I feel like there's some sort of illusion that you had on a situation which caused you to maybe shut a blind eye to what you didn't necessarily want to see. We do that sometimes. We don't want to see the red flags. We want to see the green flags. We don't want to see that things aren't turning out. We want to see that they are turning out. And that can cause us to stay in an energy of, people pleasing, or not saying yes when we really mean yes, or no when we really mean no. But with this Eight of Coins, remember to Okay. I just heard something here and I felt at first I was like, is that a little too much? But it's not. Remember that you don't know that we don't know anything at all, right? Sometimes, and that may be that belief system of unlearning. Sometimes when we think we know everything about a situation, there's always something more to discover. And the Eight of Coins is about putting in your best effort, loving your work. This is mastery. It is dedication, craftsmanship. So it could be focusing on a hobby or a career that you love, right? That you really want to excel in and take classes and grow. Remember to focus on you or focus on a relationship if you've been neglecting or if you haven't been honest with yourself. The Eight of Coins comes in to remind you and to help you drive yourself to put the energy into something. And I feel like you already have put the energy into something, but if it is not being reciprocated, right? I feel like you are being asked to balance it up here. What else do we have? There's the balance with the Temperance. This is patient balance. So you are being asked to remember how far you've come. I keep getting that, how far you've come. Ooh, we have the Lovers, Gemini energy. This is about choices. Remember that there's always a choice. We get stuck in that mentality sometimes, collective. I don't have a choice. I don't have an option. I have to, I have to go in this direction. I have to go in that direction. And the fact that we have two Knights here that are both showing up a little bit in the reverse. It's like they want to keep going round and round. So this could be a major relationship that just keeps going round and round, right? In your life. It could be romantic with the Lovers, but it could be a connection that you're really closely tied to or connected to. Knight of Wands in reverse can be inconsistent energy. It can be someone who's very in and out, right? Knight of Cups here is interruption. Something may have interrupted this dynamic. But Spirit wants you to remember all that you've learned. That's why we have these soul lessons. Remember all that you've learned, but most importantly, with Major Arcana Temperance and Major Arcana the Lovers, for those of you that are single, or maybe you've been in inconsistent relationships, I do feel like a year's time from now, or again, in a year, as mentioned earlier, your life is going to be completely different and you could have a very patient, very loving, very destined soulmate in your life. Someone who is, taking action, but they're not showing up in the, the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Wands in reverse. They're showing up as king and queens, emperors and empresses. This could be the beginning of something at this time that you are being guided to work on. Okay, remember what's important. Remember that you have the option to continue building or to continue learning and growing in matters of the heart, matters of making balanced decisions. The Lovers energy is about soul contracts. And I do see this is a partnership. Trust may have been an issue. There may have been indecisiveness or some form of disharmony. But I feel like in the near future, there is a partnership where you're being asked to make some balanced decisions between the head and the heart. And there will be an outcome that is in the highest good of all. I do see that here. It's going to cause one or the both of you to continue working on yourself and to learn lessons because it's mastery, right? And even though you get to a certain level that you've learned all that you can, you're going to still grow and learn in other areas. Okay, or with other people. So let's take a look. What should you let go of? Because we do have the letting go card. What should collective let go of? King of Wands. Okay. Some of you are letting go of someone who is overly goal-oriented. It could be overbearing energy. If you are letting go of, maybe that's what it is. Inflexibility. Ooh. If there's someone in your world, or if there's a part of yourself that has closed off, right? You could be letting go of someone because you're not willing to work, or they're not willing to work with you, or they've done something that has been very difficult, very challenging with the Five of Swords. There's been a cutoff here. And I feel like the King of Wands, right? What you're letting go of is inconsistency, instability, someone who may be hard to reach on a deeper level, right? Someone who's hard to reach on a deeper level, or they don't want a higher level of commitment because their actions told you so. You're paying attention to action. That's what you are being reminded with both knights showing up here. Knights are action takers. So they are showing up in the what to remember. Remember that actions speak louder than words, but consistency speaks louder than action, or that is part of the action, right? Someone can say to you, hey, collective, I really want to be in your life, right? I want to make this work. And then, they show up on Friday night, but then the next day they don't call you. So there is a talk the talk. They walk the walk, but then they kind of shut it all down by not staying consistent with the action and the talk. So I feel like you are leaving behind anything that's not consistent, that doesn't show the action aligned with the words, and that's what you are releasing. Yeah. And if this is a job or a career path where there's no growth, or you've hit a glass ceiling, or someone keeps telling you something like, well, we'd love to make you partner, we'd love to connect and, give you that promotion, or you've been doing a great job, but, right, I feel like if there's buts, right, if there's a but in it, you are moving on. You're saying, you've already told me this spiel over and over. I deserve more. I'm worth more. What should you give yourself credit for? What should you give yourself credit for? The ability to make a choice. And there's that Hierophant. Okay, so we're seeing the Hierophant show up. This is your belief system, that you're choosing to go with the unconventional ways, because sometimes this can be traditional teachings, what we've learned. And some of you, this is a commitment that you've made. You give yourself credit that you have the ability to break a commitment if it is something that goes against your moral compass, or if it breaks through your integrity. Okay, I feel like respect here, boundaries, but it's difficult because this is a commitment, right? It's very difficult, but give yourself credit again for having the ability to make choices and to break ties, break contracts. And so many times we feel like we have to stay in them. We're so committed to them. I've been in this job for 20 years, or I've been in this relationship for how long, or whatever it may be. But there's your future self, right? There's your present self looking back. There's your future self reminding you that energy is transmutable, that even endings bring in new beginnings, and you are a different, more wiser, more experienced soul because of what you've gone through. You don't have to go through it blindfolded, right? You don't have to feel like you're not making the right choice, because your higher self and your future self is here to help you every step of the way. So give yourself credit, recognize that you're not alone, and recognize that you have choice, that you have resources here. Spirit, it does look like collective is stuck in the Two of Swords a little bit, right? How can we help collective make a choice that is in their highest good? Because they're having a hard time doing it. King of Cups. Peaceful diplomacy. What would love do? Right? What would love do? What's for the highest good of self-love, right? This is you. It is the energy here of emotional intelligence. It's making choices that are based on balance, right? And a higher level of love, not based on, rash, impulsive emotions. It's about making sure your head is clear and making decisions that are, again, as mentioned, emotionally intelligent, diplomatic, peaceful. Because when emotions are uncontrolled, that's when we start to really feel like, oh gosh, did we make a decision? Did we, should we have gone back? Should I have tried harder? Whatever it may be. But you can choose to stay committed to something. But because we have the Death card, there's been an ending. And I do feel for some of you, you didn't want this ending, right? You didn't want it. But man, oh man, did you learn, collective. You learned. What do you have the potential to become? This is your future self now. Remember, Wheel of Fortune. What do you have the potential to become. Oh, wow. You have Three of Swords in reverse. You have the potential to recover some sort of heartache, loss. And there's the Queen of Cups. Wow. Bottom of the deck. You guys, this is your final question, final outcome, final energy. 10 of Coins. So we have Three of Swords that just showed up in reverse. So this is recovering something that has been very difficult. It's been challenging. We talked about that in the beginning. You know what it is. It's going to be different for each and every one of you. Now we have the Queen of Cups landed right here on the King of Cups. So this could be a dynamic between two lovers. Okay. Or if this is a situation where you've been single for quite some time because you've been recovering, you've been in, maybe that mode of divorce or raising kids, or you've been trying to find excitement in your life and it hasn't been happening. I feel like that is coming to an end because we do have partnership here, if that's what you're seeking. Even if you are separating or you're going through something now, romantically, professionally, whatever it may be, I feel like this is a divine counterpart that's coming in down the road. And like I said, a year from now, even 10 years from now, 10 of Coins, you could be married. This is the energy of lasting security. And remember the 5 of Coins showing up. Spirit wants you to spend less time on the loss or what the struggle part of it and focus on the gains that are coming in. 5 and 5 equal the 5 of Pentacles, right? Equal that 10 of Pentacles. And that's your outcome energy here. So this is about long lasting security. This is financial wealth. It's inheritance. It's legacy. This is the card of privilege. And I just said this in, maybe it was Pisces or Aquarian's reading. And I really like this. Let me know what you guys think. The difference between privilege and entitlement is gratitude, right? So I'm going to say that again. The difference between privilege, which is my 10 of Coins, that's privilege, and entitlement, that's 5 of Swords, right? Feels entitled to everything. But the difference is gratitude. The 5 of Swords doesn't have a lot of gratitude. They're just a win at all costs. I am entitled to this. This should be owed to me. And there is a partnership or a connection that it's not based on entitlement. It's based on gratitude and longevity and long-lasting security. Okay? This is the card of Wall Street as well. I just have to say this, take it as it resonates, but if you have some sort of investment, stocks, crypto, whatever it may be here, there's something about 10 years. So maybe you've started investing, 5 years ago. Maybe there's another 5 here. Maybe you've been in a relationship. There's something about a decade. So hang tight. Something is growing. You could be sitting on a pot of gold for some of you, right? But I also feel there could be children involved for some of you. Children are going to be okay. Someone needs to hear that. Children are going to be okay, because look at that. We have letting go here, and the children are smiling. They're happy. They're riding their bikes. They're having a grand time. Probably should be wearing a helmet, but they'll be safe, right? So that is what I have for you, collective. Your future self wants you to know that these hard times don't last, right? Tough times don't last, but tough people do. And I feel like you are growing, you are evolving, you're on the right path. You have what it takes to really succeed and come into union with some sort of partnership. Whether this is career, it's going to be a fulfilling partnership here. If this is romance or love, I do feel like things are changing. And 1 year from now, your life is going to look completely different. Even in maybe even a few weeks, right? But I feel like you'll look back, and it could be from birthday to birthday, because we do have that inner child. It's like there was a shift around a birthday or a shift around a holiday or a celebration. I'm also getting here someone may have, okay, do we want to end on that note? There could have been a child that exited the world. This could be a child that went off and maybe got married, or they maybe you're empty nester, or there's something here about letting go of a child. Okay, I just have to point that out. Those two came out together, but you're really in this energy collective of self-love, right? This is where you want to be here because you are attracting something beyond your wildest dreams. I feel like this is a very beautiful energy, and have fun traveling. Okay, I just heard Bali. For some of you, Bali could be significant. And if I didn't say this earlier, I think I did. France. Yeah, France and Spain are coming in here. Bali, Italy. Some of you could be traveling to, a foreign country. You could be going on a spiritual retreat. So I definitely like what I'm seeing here for you, collective. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. You're moving forward. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope this was helpful. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, hit that bell, drop a comment. Let me know if this is you, how it resonates. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lots of love.